Hey, runners out there, I'm still talking to you this week. I'm Charlotte Walters. I'm the owner of Mountain Wellness and Physical Therapy here in the greater Western North Carolina area. And I've been doing the last few weeks some simple, easy exercises that you can do as the running community to really fit into your cross training, both to prevent injuries from happening or have a quicker recovery from getting back to running from your injuries. So I could not finish up this series without definitely stopping by my local running store, Mountain Running Company, and picking the brains of these two great people, because a lot of injuries can be prevented by actually getting in the right shoe wear. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and spending the time. I want to introduce, this is Sean Pope. He is the owner here at Mountain Running Company. And this is Jamie Wilkin, and she's the manager here at this location. And I know they have some exciting things going on. You guys opened up a new location this year, right?
Yeah.
Where is that?
It's in Boone, North Carolina.
Okay.
It's about an hour and a half away from here, Black Mountain. Very mountainous town. Really fits the culture of the shop we have here in Black Mountain. And it is missing a running specialty store for a community in a college town that has a lot of runners. So we're really excited to install ourselves in there and really kind of enhance the community and the running community up there. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing that they have not had a running shoe store up there.
Not one that's stuck around long enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that goes to show, I mean, especially because you have opened during a COVID year, I think it goes to show just the quality that you all offer here, both with, like, first of all, customer service, going the extra mile, and then just the quality of shoes and the right shoe that you're putting into people. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So a lot of times when I walk in the store, I get to see you. So Jamie, I would love to hear a little bit about your story, because I know you have a lot of experience in just the footwear space, and then how you kind of got interested in running, maybe not, as the career runner maybe that Sean has been, but kind of a recent runner, right?
Mm-hmm,
and how you kind of eased into that.
Yeah, so my story with like motion and everything, I've always been a walker. When I was young, I had dogs, so I was always walking all the time. And I even took a course in college that was walking, believe it or not.
Really?
And I may or may not have gotten an A or a B.
I hope you got an A.
It was an 8 a.m. class, let's just say
Okay.
that. But anyway, so always like to move and be outside and hiking and swimming, and actually started running because I dated someone that ran, and it was like, I guess I'm a runner now. And so I started running, and I actually really enjoyed it. I was like, oh, this is a thing I could see myself doing sustainably. But I never, like you said, a career runner, I never really wanted to race or anything, never felt really competitive. I just like doing it on my own as like a therapeutic thing.
Yes.
Mentally clearing things, my own kind of sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a break for a while for sure. And then I got into footwear again about 4 years ago. And that's kind of when it took off. I've really enjoyed getting to know the technology and kind of the gearhead side of it, and really getting into nitty gritty and the stats and the science and stuff, and also mainly, like Sean was saying, helping people and connecting with them. And that's what my passion is, and why I've done it for several years is I love getting and doing the problem solving with them. If you have pain, if you have injuries, if you haven't ran before, like, how can we help support you in your journey of motion and healing? And so that's kind of what's brought me here. And yeah, been in this store 3 years almost, and really enjoyed it. It's a great sense of community, like Sean was saying, and being that pivotal spot for people that are coming in and out of town or that live here, and having that sense of community has really been great to be a part of that, and encouraged me to move more too. When you see it, you're inspired. You're
exactly.
Like, oh man, I gotta get out there. Like, why am I here? I gotta get outside and run.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I know, like, because I came in a few weeks ago and I needed a new pair of shoes, you did just a great job in walking me through. You knew what I kind of liked, before, and you kind of led me to maybe a little bit of a different model. And what I love about here is you didn't have the model that I necessarily had in the store, and you made a phone call and you got it in for me. So I really, for you and being the manager over here, I think everybody who comes in here and is a customer really feel like you do actually care.
Thank
So,
you.
I mean, that seriously goes a long way.
Thanks. Yeah, I love being here for people, so it's great to support you and others that come in the store. So.
Awesome. Well, let's ask some specific questions about some shoes. A great place to start, a customer walks in the door and they say, hey, I need a new pair of running shoes. What it would be the top 3 or 4 questions that you would ask them before you started pulling models off the shelf?
For sure. Usually the top questions I ask, well, road or trail?
Yes.
That's kind of the first place to start, and sometimes people want in between, which there's options for that as well. So once we get information too, well, how long of a distance have you run before? Have you had any pain? So go through those kind of questions first, but and we also do like to watch people walk. We like to look at their arches, to see if they overpronate or have flat arches and roll in. They have higher arches. Also ask, like I said, about pain. Do you have bunions? Do you have neuropathy? Do you have plantar fasciitis signs? Different things like that. Having that information is very helpful before you even take them to the wall, and really letting them communicate, a customer, a client, what they're looking for, and just having a conversational process as we kind of go down that checklist to find out what they want before they put the shoe on there. But that's the most important part. We get those essential questions, and it's all about feel too from there.
Right. And I like that you guys actually watch people walk, especially as a PT, because I know a lot of times you walk into a shoe store, no one even looks at your feet or how they walk, and I notice your treadmill over here too. So that's a great piece. Even being able to put someone on the treadmill and have them run, right, and see what's going on with their feet and everything else. So is there a difference, if someone is a brand new runner, hey, it's COVID year, I've just picked up running because there was nothing else to do, have never invested in shoes, is there a difference of that person coming in versus the seasoned runners who's putting in 30 plus miles a week and probably knows what they like by that point? How would you contrast that?
Well, honestly, there's not a real difference as far as shoes I would necessarily recommend between a walker or a runner. It really is such an individual thing. So the same shoe that an ultra marathoner could wear, someone that just walks every day can wear it too. And that's great. It's really what they're looking for. So I wouldn't say that there's particulars that I would go that, oh, this wouldn't work for you because you're a walker versus a seasoned runner. And it is being able to have that information accessible for all people. Like you said, you do have people that have been wearing the same shoes for a long time and they know what they like, and that's great too. You have people come in and they're very open to learning more information. I've been wearing this Cascadia for many years, but I want to see what else is out there. And you can play along with that and see, and might be a confirmation method. Nope, I'm still staying with the same shoe. Or now it's time to try something different. As far as someone that is newer, they might not have that to kind of use as a reference, a shoe they've been using a long time. But typically someone puts a new shoe, running shoe on their foot that they've never had that experience before, they have an awakening.
Right.
Wait, a shoe can feel like this? So definitely, there's different ends of the spectrum, but like I said earlier, the main thing is it's such an individual feel thing, and no matter what level you are, we're putting it on the feet, and no matter what feels best to you.
Right. Do you find that putting someone in the shoe and then even getting them to test it on the treadmill is beneficial?
Very much so, because there is a difference between standing, walking, and running. So we let people try them on, and you can run outside, which we like because it gives you a real idea of terrain. It's definitely different than treadmill running, unless you are just using it on a treadmill.
No, there's a huge difference.
So that definitely gives people a lot of insight on what it works when it's in motion, for sure. And we also do programs. A lot of companies aren't so great about doing exchange or return programs, but we encourage that because we don't want you to be stuck with something that doesn't work for you when you're in pain. So depending on the shoe, we're usually, our brand or company, we're able to accommodate that because you want to walk away with something that you're going to use.
Right. That's excellent. That is great to know. Especially because I got some new pair of shoes and just been running in them. No, they've been great. No, they have been.
Wait, how long has it been?
They've been great. And then, what would you say, like as far as average miles, that you should start to think about getting a new shoe? How many miles?
Yeah, that is a good question that a lot of people ask. Typical is between 400 to 500 miles. It's the average that you're looking at, or a year, or when you start feeling something you hadn't before. If you're starting to feel aches and pains, you're like, wait, I've been wearing these shoes, I never had this happen before. It's a good way to know that it's starting to wear down. Also, you can always look at the bottom of the shoe. If you see that wear pattern is looking pretty ratty and there's not much tread there, that's also a real telltale sign for sure.
Yes, for sure. Good. All right. Those are great, some great tips. And I think just knowing these questions when you walk into especially mountain running, that they're going to ask you that, so you already have an idea of what you want, what you're looking for, and then kind of what your goals are. So as a physical therapist, obviously I see a lot of people in this active community with certain issues when it comes to running, like foot pain, heel pain, knee pain, even some back pain.
Sure.
I look for mechanical issues, of course, of things that we can fix mechanically. But I know you probably even get more people who walk in here and say, hey, Sean, I've been having, plantar fasciitis symptoms like for the last year. I may be in the wrong shoe. I may need something else. What would you suggest if someone walks in like that?
Well, so the main thing we really want to do is focus on things like you said, mechanics. Mechanics are very important. So, first thing we really would like is to watch you walk and see what exactly your type of shoe you would need, or your type of insert or so forth you would need in order to accommodate the support that would help relieve the injury that you're going through. So, it could be an array of things, whether it be a certain shoes. We've got shoes that prevent overpronation, which is the natural pronation of the foot, but over excessively. So we've got shoes that really guide your foot towards a little bit straighter line, straighter last. We've got insoles over here. These things are really good add-ons for shoes because we've got shoes that might do really well for a person, but another person might need something more. And an insert's really good because it adds an extra support to a shoe. It really bridges the arch, takes a lot of pressure off the forefoot and the heel. So you get a lot of people that walk in. Probably the number one injury we hear when we have somebody walk in, honestly, if we could put a flashing sign that said plantar fasciitis relief, we would be $1 million company. It's a very common injury. It's a very, very popular thing to blame for almost all foot pain. So there's a lot of things that we need to go through stepwise to figure out what we can do best for you. But a lot of our treatment program is really just watching your walk, watching your gait, checking on exactly what shoe, what type of insert, and that solving that section and getting the foundation really can solve a lot of problems all the way up to the shoulders and even up in here.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
That's our main goal. We're not doctors, but we really try to better your initial foundation, which is your feet, and make it better from there on up.
Right. And you may not be doctors, but once again, you're pretty familiar with being a runner yourself and the mechanics when it comes to running. So you have a great experience.
Yeah, I think it's just the years of hearing a lot. We experience a lot of customers. We experience a lot of injuries, and they come to us looking for solutions. So we've been doing this. We've been open here for 5.5 years. We've heard it all.
Yeah.
So
I bet.
Yeah.
Good. Well, great. And I'm always looking for places to send people, and I love the selection of just inserts and your compression garments and everything. It's a great place to start, an easy place to start to fix some of those problems.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So it's springtime. Hallelujah, it's finally springtime. We are, and I know for me, I don't like to run in the cold, and so I'm putting in a lot more miles right now because it's so nice. And I know a lot of you all are starting to get out there and putting in more miles, doing a little bit more training. So here's the key takeaway from today. Please, before you get too many more miles down the road, come in and get your shoes checked out. Come in and get that new pair of shoes. I know Mountain Running has new shoes, new lines coming in every month, right?
Absolutely.
So now is the time to check them out, whether or not you're in Black Mountain. If you're in Asheville, once again, it's not that far to come to Black Mountain. I can vouch for these guys. And then if you're in Boone, definitely check out their new store in Boone. And then lastly, we're going to be putting together a workshop. And what this workshop is about is ways you can prevent common injuries when you're running, maybe some ways that you can boost some performance when you're running, and then just some easy recovery exercises that you can help with those typical plantar fasciitis, knee pain, things that you run into. So if you would be interested in getting tagged on when we do that, if you would just comment workshop, and then you can even give us some things that you might be interested in hearing, and that would be great. So we be on the lookout for that in the next few weeks. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. I'm so excited. And I hope all of you get out there and run.